And President John Mahama has dismissed the reintroduction of electricity subsidies, addressing Muslims at the Independence Square in Accra. On the occasion of Eid al-Fitr, he attributed the reduction in electricity tariffs to realignment of the billing system. President Mahama again assured load shedding would not be an option following current power outages, as stringent measures are being adopted to address the challenges.
Few weeks has been erratic due to a shortfall in generation. Several parts of the country are experiencing frequent. President Mahama explained the situation is as a result of a shortfall in gas supply from Nigeria.
Because of sabotage in Nigeria on the terminals, crude oil that we ordered last month has not arrived. And so it has created some generational problems for us. But I've asked the bulk oil storage company to start storing at least 1 month of light crude oil supply for Ghana, so that in the event anything happens at the supply end in Nigeria, we are not affected the way we currently are affected.
He said the situation is being brought under control as government does not intend to begin load shedding.
I'll crave your indulgence and urge all of you to understand we are not declaring load shedding. We are not declaring load shedding. I believe things will normalize. But every has security when it comes to power.
The president pointed out the reduction in electricity due to reintroduction of subsidies, but a realignment of the billing system.
Recently, there have been some issues with electricity tariffs. The Electricity Company of Ghana has done their system, and I believe that people can begin to feel some relief in terms of the bills that they were paying. The bills have been made more transparent so that you can tell with every unit you buy how much the value of the unit is. It is not a subsidy, it's a realignment of the billing system that makes it possible for us to be able to know how much we're spending on electricity.
Well, let's still say a bit further.
Good afternoon, Alfred.
The president has reiterated and actually emphasized that it's not a subsidy, it's a realignment. We were told it's a relief. The ECG was specific and categorical during that press conference that there was a subsidy. I want to find out what you make of what has been described as some confusion at this page.
Alfred, let me say good afternoon to your viewers. I think the ECG, if they will be bold enough to speak, should be the best entity to respond to this question. But, I mean, I listened to the president, and I don't think electricity tariffs, there's been any ambiguity as to how it's computed. I don't understand exactly what the president means by realignment, but what I know is that some reliefs have been given to customers, and it's got nothing to do with realignment. It's basically a reduction in how much certain categories of end users are supposed to pay, and there's a cost to that. Whether they call it subsidy or government relief or utility relief, it is a subsidy that, or it's a cost that somebody has. What the ECG will say to that. But if the president is telling us that suddenly the ECG has found out that they were actually overcharging us, or they could do something, re-engineering, realignment, so that we pay less, then somebody will have to refund money to us from the beginning of the year. I think I honestly believe that somebody's playing with words, but the bottom line is that I am tempted to believe what the ECG people say, because they were sent by the power ministry to do that. The president himself, some weeks back at Medina, that there's going to be some relief. It's got nothing to do with billing system, I'm afraid. It's got nothing to do with billing system.
It's got
so
nothing
whoever
to do with the billing system.
Advising the president should advise the president very, very, very well, because it's not a billing system. If you look at the red corner, I don't see, if you compare it with the one that was published before the 1st July one, there isn't any difference realignment. I thought the president was probably talking about cross-subsidization, but even if you look at that, there's no cross-subsidization anywhere. Yeah, for the non-residential customers, they didn't used to have any relief, but now there is some relief for them. And I don't know what the president, exactly what he meant by realignment, but I think somebody just playing with words.
But what do you suspect in all this? Because the ECG specifically stated how much this relief will cost, some $330 million, we're told. And then also we know that we're on an IMF program. We know that ECG is going to be offloaded partially to a concessionaire. With all this in consideration, what do you suspect could indeed be as a resulting in this kind of back and forth in definition of what we're experiencing?
You know, Alfred, I think your viewers and Ghanaians will be the best judges as to what is going on. But I wouldn't want to venture into the realm of speculation. What I know is that if tariffs, I mean, ECG has never been this kind to Ghanaians. ECG, we all know, have challenges. We know ECG needs money, even more than the government of Ghana.
Yeah.
So definitely ECG wouldn't come back to give money back to Ghanaians. And I'm sure if ECG people understood what the president said, they should be going back to the president to ask him where that money is going to come from, because I'm almost certain that ECG doesn't have the money. But what I also know that the word subsidy is very obnoxious now, because IMF wouldn't want to hear that. So maybe that's what is happening. But I think Ghanaians are the best judges in this matter. Somebody is playing with words. Whether the ECG people
2 days ago that John Jinapor, Deputy Power Minister, was recorded saying that the ECG will release a load shedding timetable soon. The president says that we shouldn't expect any timetable of the sort. I want to find out from you what you make of.
Well, I would say that since the president appointed John Jinapor, maybe the president's word, not maybe, the president's word should hold sway. But you see, it's not fair to Ghanaians that we wouldn't be told when we should expect our power to go up. We may not be thinking that this is going to be for the long term, and that's been happening for about a month now. We are shedding load. I think in fairness, there should be an announcement that, look, you shouldn't expect to have power on this particular day, but there could be a caveat saying that we don't expect this thing to last. Ghanaians should bear with that. But to say that there will be no load shedding or no load shedding timetable, or will not declare load shedding, it's a self-denial. You're just denying what is actually happening. It's not as if we are expecting it to happen. We are living in periods where sometimes you don't have lights for 12 hours in the evening. So whether we announce it or not, it's happening. And I think in fairness, we should tell Ghanaians that, please, your lights can go off on these days. If we have more power, you might not go up. But when you go up, understand that we are shedding load. Because whether it's challenges with gas or have enough generation capacity at the moment, demand is exceeding supply. The only way we can manage is to share some load, and it's going on. It's not something that pertains to the future. Right. It's happening now. So they should tell us, and I believe. But he's the president. If they say they're not going to declare it, let's leave it. And if Ghanaians feel satisfied with that, it's up to us. But the truth of the matter is that as we speak right now, load is being shared.
Mr. Kumine, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. And here's the Executive Director of Kite Ghana, Ishmael Kumine, there with some analysis of it. But that's it for business this afternoon.